Hey everybody, I'm Matt with Halloween Daily News. Welcome back to the Halloween Show. It's episode 21 for the first week of March 2021. Very excited today because we've got Sandy Johnson on the show. She's going to be talking about her experiences filming the terrifying opening moments of Halloween 1978. But first, here are this week's other Halloween headlines. A sequel to the popular independent Halloween horror anthology series, 1031 Part 3 was recently announced, and we are excited to reveal the full list of directors that will helm the new segments. Halloween Daily News can exclusively confirm that the filmmakers who will each direct a segment of the new anthology are Michael Baloff, director of They Live Inside Us and creator of the Witching Season YouTube series, Zane Hirschberger, director of Forced to Fear, Brad Twigg, director of Killer Campout and Shriekshow, and Jacob Perrette, director of Spine Chiller, with franchise producer Rocky Gray directing the wraparound sequence and scoring the soundtrack for the film. Jennifer Nangle is also confirmed to return as horror hostess Malvolia, the Queen of Screams. The new film is a sequel to 1031, a 2018 Halloween International Film Festival official selection, and 1031 Part 2, which had its world premiere at the 2019 Halloween International Film Festival. Rocky Gray tells us that pre-production is already underway with plans for 1031 Part 3 to be released on Blu-ray this October from Scream Team Releasing. And speaking of Shriekshow, the independent Halloween horror film is coming this fall, and a new official trailer has been unleashed online, teasing yet more of the bloody fun to come. From director Brad Twigg, the film stars Felissa Rose of Sleepaway Camp, Tuesday Night of A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, and Beverly Randolph of The Return of the Living Dead. According to the official synopsis, the film follows four friends on Halloween night who travel to an abandoned circus to party, where they encounter a ringmaster setting up a sideshow exhibit, who proceeds to tell them three terrifying tales. The new trailer continues to showcase killer clowns, plenty of gore, and the scariest show on Earth. Shriekshow is anticipated for release in October of 2021 from Fuzzy Monkey Films. And of course, you can read more about all of those stories right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. All right, earlier this week, I had the pleasure of talking to Sandy Johnson. She's got an amazing story. After starring in John Carpenter's Halloween as Judith Myers, she stepped away from the spotlight for 4 decades and then was welcomed back with open arms as she returned to her Halloween franchise family in a big way in 2018. We talked about all that in our interview, which will premiere in full next week right here on the HDN YouTube channel. But right now, here is an exclusive world premiere clip from my new interview with Sandy Johnson. Check it out. Sandy, thank you for being here and talking to me today. I've wanted to interview you for years, and so this is definitely a thrill and an honor for me. I wanted to start off. It's been a crazy year for everybody. So I just wanted to ask, how are you doing, and how have you fared through this pandemic and the last 12 months?
I'm doing fine. I'm lonely. I'm ready for family and friends and hugs and cons and all of those things, parties.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm fine. I know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, so all is good.
Excellent. And like I said, I think you've got a really interesting, amazing story, and I want to cover as much of it as we can today. But before we even get to the Halloween movie or to Playboy or any of that, I'd like to go further back. I understand you grew up in Texas, and I wanted to ask, did you celebrate Halloween as a kid, and was that something that you and your family were into growing up in Texas?
Absolutely. Halloween was a really big event for me because my sisters would take me out trick-or-treating even when I was very little. So I definitely look forward to that. And I remember one year it fell on a Sunday, and so they celebrated it on both Saturday and Sunday, and it was like the bonus of my life. I got to trick or treat 2 nights in a row. So yes, we did. We decorated everything, and yeah, we always loved Halloween.
Awesome, awesome. What's your favorite Halloween candy? Do you have a favorite Halloween candy?
Ooh, probably candy corn, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Classic. You can't go wrong there. Awesome, awesome. And obviously now Halloween, the holiday and the season, I know has taken on a whole new meaning for you in your life, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Um, so that's awesome that Halloween was important to you growing up, as it is to all of us here at Halloween Daily News, of course. So how did you first become involved with Halloween 1978?
I was with an agency, a modeling agency. Oh, I've got incoming cat.
Uh-oh.
Incoming big boy. I was doing, I had done another film, and I was doing some theater and different things. So it was just another call that came in from my agency for a horror movie. And so that's how I got it. My agent just called me and said they want to interview you. So I went and I interviewed in a house that was close to the Myers house. Might have actually been one of the houses they filmed in, but I'm not real sure. But the house was there somewhere. And they interviewed me. I read several parts. And I think they called, like the next day, they called my agent and said that they wanted me to play Judith.
Oh, wow. So, did you know anything as far as the storyline going in, who Judith was in relation to the story, or had you seen the script or anything like that?
No, of course, the script was still very coveted, I'm sure. And I did not know that Michael was going to grow up to be the ultimate slasher.
Sure.
So when I went to the premiere, which was nothing like the premieres today, but it was basically just the cast and some family and crew and stuff. And I was sitting there, and it went to the scenes after my scene, and it was just like, oh my God, this is terrifying. And so it scared the hell out of me. And I really didn't know what was going to happen. So that was actually kind of cool. I'm glad I didn't.
Excellent. Well, that's something else I was going to ask about, what you thought the first time you saw it. But even before that, talking about the shoot itself, because I'm just super curious, obviously being a huge fan of the film, and we've all watched it a million times, and we watch it every year at least once every year. Most of our audience does, I think they can relate, and we've all watched that famous opening sequence, not just one of the most famous sequences and moments in the Halloween franchise, but really in horror cinema and cinema at large, and certainly in Halloween lore. So, but on the actual filming of it, so you went to the audition, and then you got word that they wanted you for Judith. So, was it just really soon after that, like days after that you were on set?
Yes, I don't think it was very long, maybe a few days, maybe a week.
Okay.
And yeah, it was pretty quick.
And were you on set just one day, or how long? How many days do you remember?
I think it was just one day. And they were still fixing up the house because it was dilapidated, for most of the movie. And even though my scene is first, it was actually one of the last ones filmed.
Okay.
So they had to fix up the house. So they were, doing things to make the house look new and lived in and all that stuff. At the same time, we were going through the lines and working with John and Deborah just to practice it. It was a really complicated scene, as you know. It was a
Yes.
very long shot all the way from the front of the house, around the house, through the house. The makeout scene, up the stairs. I mean, it was a lot going on.
Yes.
And so we ran through it several times, but we actually only did 2 takes.
Oh, wow. So a lot of rehearsal, I guess, but actual shooting, it was 2 takes and they got it. Wow. Wow, that's amazing. And so, like you said, I mean, one of the most famous sequences with the steady shot, and I interviewed Dean Cundy, the cinematographer, a few years ago, and we talked a lot about that. So you remember the prep and the detail and basically the choreography, I guess you could call it.
I do. And I remember that everybody was talking about that camera. It was a really big deal. It was fairly new, I guess. So everybody was real excited to have that camera on set and to do that really long shot. So it was exciting.
Awesome. Awesome. And do you remember, as far as your performance, any directions that you got at the time? Any direction from Carpenter or that you can recall?
I just remember them telling me they wanted the downstairs scene to just be really playful and fun, and just kind of teasing kind of a situation, nothing heavy. And then, of course, upstairs, they wanted me to just be relaxed and humming and just, what you would do after a 10-second sex scene.
Right. Right.
But yeah, so I remember that. I remember that there was Deborah and I think John and maybe just the cameraman there. So it was a little scary waiting for them to get up there, because I was kind of alone, knowing I'm about to be murdered, waiting for all of them to get up there. And so, yeah, it was kind of spooky, but it was fun.
That does sound kind of creepy, actually, literally being alone in the bedroom, waiting for the arrival of your death scene. Now, obviously, like you said, it was only probably the 3 of them on set at that. So was it Deborah doing the stabbing at that time? I know she did Michael's hands in the kitchen. Was that her doing the stabbing in those scenes? Or in that shot?
It was. They didn't want a child in there with that. So yeah, it was just a Deborah, John, and the camera people.
You can see the full interview when it premieres online this Wednesday right here on the HDN YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications if you haven't already so you don't miss it. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you for watching.